Hello YouTube, Big Red MC 716 here, and I give you Super Mario Brothers 3! That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for another LP, and like I just said, it is Super Mario Brothers 3, considered by many to be one of the greatest Mario games of all time, an opinion that I wholeheartedly agree with. Even though the game gets hard as fuck near the end, and it's the product of the devil, I love this game. Now, unlike Lost Levels, this one actually goes back to the two-player mode, of one player being Mario, another being Luigi. And as you can see down there at the bottom is a battle game, which it actually takes you into a game reminiscent of the original Mario Brothers. But anyway, here we go, starting it out. So here it is, Super Mario Brothers 3. As you can see, it goes back to the old Mario 1 formula, having Mario with a regular jump, really no other playable characters, unlike Mario 2. Anyway, here we have a new power-up to the Mario games, the Super Leaf, which turns you into Raccoon Mario and lets you fly for a short period of time if you can get the P meter all the way up to maximum. You do that by running, of course. Up here we have a pipe, and coin shape and the letter 3. Another thing you can do with Raccoon Mario is you can actually hit the Y button to swing his tail around and attack enemies. Not as good as the cape you'll see in Super Mario World, but it gets the job done. Anyway, here we are, level 2. And as you saw earlier, Super Mario Bros. 3 actually has a map, and in some worlds you can actually choose which levels you want to do. You decide to skip levels altogether. But seeing as this is an LP, I won't be doing that. I'm going to be playing every level in this game and showing you all those. Yeah, now I just got the star, and unfortunately in this game the star doesn't last nearly as long as any other Mario game, which I found disappointing. But something that's pretty cool, as you saw earlier about the star, is that when you jump while you've got it, you can actually do a little spin jump. If you jump on that block, it takes you up to the clouds with a bonus stage and a bunch of coins, but I won't be taking that, because I'm showing off the level. So yeah, the Goombas now have wings and can jump. That doesn't make it that much harder, you just take an extra jump to kill them. And what I just killed there was a boomerang, brother. That's right, there's a new variety of Hammer Brothers in this game. And oh yeah, this is how you beat the levels now, by collecting these cards. And if you collect 3 cards, you get an extra life. If you get 3 of the same icon, it's different the amount of lives that you can get. If you get 3 mushrooms, you get 2 extra lives. If you get 3 flowers, you get 3 lives, and if you get a star, you get 5 lives. 3 stars, you get 5 lives. What I was just in there was a mushroom house, which you can actually pick up an item from, because unlike previous games, you now have an inventory system, which you can access on the maps by hitting the X button. There's the Y button. I'm getting my buttons confused. And yeah, another thing new to Mario 3, the mushrooms will sometimes go left instead of right. In the older games, and even in more recent games, they always go to the right, the mushrooms. But in this game, they just randomly go left at times. So it'll be easier to miss them. Also, another thing to mention about World 3 that I was just in, you saw near the end of the level there was a white block there. If you duck at that white block for 6 seconds, you'll actually drop down and into the background, and you can actually go to an area where a toad will give you a warp whistle. And what that's used for is to take you around take you to the later worlds. It's actually a pretty easy way to beat the game, but I won't be taking it. Yeah, by the way, I just did it to fuck with that Koopa. Alright, so you go to the spade, and you get this minigame. Yeah, he says line up the pictures and get a prize. The only prize, unfortunately, that you get is just lives. Just like a 4. Mushroom equals 2, flower equals 3, and star equals 5. And now we go to the fortress. There's all... Okay. Yeah. Sorry, messed up my wording there. Anyway, we have the fire flower here now. Pretty damn useful in this game, even though you probably can't tell by the way I'm using it. Anyway, there's another warp whistle in this level. You're given the leaf right here, and if you fly up above, it'll take you to another room that has a warp whistle. But again, won't be getting them. And unfortunately, it's not a matter of showing them off or not. It's a matter of actually the emulator. Well, I'll get back to that. Here we have Boom Boom. Yeah. That was Boom Boom, ladies and gentlemen. He can actually be pretty tricky if you don't do what I just did. Anyway, once you do that, the fortress is destroyed, and the door unlocks. And also what just appeared there is an end spade space. Which is pretty much a memory game. You flip over these cards, and if you get 2 matching cards, you get the item that's on the cards added to your inventory. Like, see there, I just got a star added to the inventory. Unfortunately, if you mess up twice, you're kicked out. There'll also be Hammer Brothers patrolling the maps, and if you end up with them, you go into a battle with the Hammer Brother. Beat the Hammer Brother, or brothers if there's more than one, you get an item. Here, you get a star. Of course, the items can also vary, among other things. Alright, on to level 5. Another feature that's new to the game, sliding into enemies, like you just saw there. Anyway, back to the warp whistle thing I was talking about. The emulator has does some sort of weird thing where if I get the warp whistle and then try to encode the video, you know, so it can be recorded like this, sometimes it'll fuck up and say I used the warp whistle when I didn't. It'll have me use the warp whistle and then just go to a random world and then have me do random shit. Like, it's registering the button presses that I do, but it's just, I'll just be sitting there moving left and right is how it'll look. Because the game will think I used the warp whistle when I didn't. So that's why I won't be getting any warp whistles. However, if I know where any are, I will point them out. Alright, back to the leaf. Yeah. And yeah, like I said earlier, there's whole new types of brothers in this game, which you will be seeing later. You already saw the Boomerang Brothers. Yep, just hitting coin blocks. Which actually, now that I think about it, I don't think those were in Mario 2. Now that I think about it. Oh man, this leaf, let me tell you, it makes platforming a lot easier. As long as you don't mind button mashing, which you're gonna have to do a lot of if you want to slowly fall down. Another extra life. Oh yeah, something else to mention. In the 2-player mode, you can actually choose to battle your opponent, just like in the battle mode, like I mentioned earlier. Damn it, another mushroom. Anyway, if you go to their icon on the map, like you see that little Mario icon that just popped up? Okay, I'll get back to that later. So you go in the castle, and unfortunately the king's been transformed, and the toad tells you the situation. Fun fact, that's actually an enemy from Super Mario Bros. 2. Alright, so now we go on to the airship. Anyway, I'm trying to think of what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, those Mario icons. If you actually die in a level, you actually go back to that point where the Mario icon is, the last square or whatever it was on. And if in the two-player mode, if you go to your partner's icon, like if you're Mario and you go to Luigi's icon and hit the confirm button, you'll actually go into the Mario Brothers style battle mode that I mentioned earlier, and you can actually steal those cards from your opponent. It is possible to do that. But anyway, here we go. First boss. Yeah, basically the bosses of this game are the Koopa Kids. I'm not sure which one that was. I'll look it up after I'm done recording and put the name in the video. But anyway, we've just beaten World 1. And oh my god, we're falling from a great height! Why are we not using the leaf? How did that scepter not break? But yes, World 1 has been beaten. And the king's been restored to normal. Here's a letter from the princess. Greetings. If you've seen a ghost, be careful. They will give chase if you turn away. I have enclosed a jewel that helps protect you. Yeah, usually that jewel is like a power-up or something that helps you along your way. Like that P-Wing there, which I'll show off in part 2. See you then.